The only way to properly make sure the lash is set is to have the box out, and it should be bled. You can't have any fluid in it because the piston builds back pressure or whatever. But every box that goes into a truck should be checked for lash, and it should be checked this way. Having that tight spot in the middle is going to cause steering problems. I spend hundreds of hours with people trying to diagnose this, and they believe it's a different component in their vehicle, but it's always this. And most people refuse to check. If you're changing your steering box out, check it on the bench yourself. If it has a tight spot and the manufacturer doesn't want you to adjust it, make them send you a new one. It's whoever's assembling these things is just pounding them out and not really checking that, or they don't know how to. It's a huge problem in the industry. I would say probably 70% of the boxes are adjusted that way, and it's a good portion of people's steering problems in Ram trucks. Every time you put a steering box into a truck, or you get a brand new steering box, if you're a mechanic, DIY guy, I don't care, you should always check the lash on the box. How do you check it? A lot of guys check here. The problem with checking here is you're on the wrong side of the gear, so you can't feel if there's a tight spot in the center of the gear. You want to put the arm on the box, fasten the box to a bench, and just rotate through. And you can feel it gets stiff in the center there. Sometimes you don't feel it right away, but it shouldn't get stiff there. If it does, you need to adjust the lash. This one's almost perfect, but I can guarantee you someone would throw this in a truck, they'd have a return to center issue, and it would dart all over the road, be hard to keep straight sometimes, and they'll blame the ball joints or the tie rods or the tires, but it's this, and nobody checks this. Now, I say use the arm and come through here like this, because you can actually feel it. You don't use levers because you can't feel that there. It's hidden. So you'll put it on and you'll think, hey, this box is great. I mean, I can feel it slightly, but that's going to affect your return to center. This is your lash adjustment screw. Now, this is put here so you can actually adjust that correctly. For some reason, manufacturers don't want people adjusting this, yet they send their boxes out improperly adjusted. Now, if you can keep sending the box back till you get a good one, or you can simply just crack that loose. And if you saw, when I cracked it loose, it actually spun the adjustment screw. So we're gonna put it back. We're gonna loosen this off a bit while holding the screw. It's way harder in the truck. Okay, now I'm gonna hold this where it was. I'm gonna come back here, come over here. I'm just gonna slightly adjust it. That feels, it's like maybe 2 degrees of adjustment. Makes the world of difference. Now, contrary to popular belief, having a tight, really tight box adjusted doesn't steer better. It steers better if you're perfect or slightly on the loose side. Too tight, it's just, you have that return to center problem and it pops back and forth. I don't know why the industry hasn't figured, like, it's frustrating because nobody's pinpointed that. I think they're mixing up the intermediate shaft bushing with the lash of the box. Now that we've got the lash set, we're gonna hold this. It's hard to do with the camera here, but adjust that back. We're just gonna come over here. Just quickly check that it didn't over tighten it when I tightened that. It's still good. Okay. Inside here, this adjustment screw is this piece. This is actually your sector shaft. Now, sometimes the manufacturers won't adjust this ring correctly when they do it. They either over tighten it or they under tighten it. If you have an incredibly stiff box, chances are that's too tight. It's not allowing this to spin. When this doesn't spin and this nut's done up tight, it makes this turn stiff on this, which creates a whole bunch of other problems. The other thing is, when you're adjusting this, some of these boxes, they don't adjust these tight enough. So this little screw here moves in and out like this. If it moves like that, your lash is going to bounce back and forth. So when you're adjusting this, make sure for every turn here, this shaft moves a little bit here. You can actually see it go in and out. The reason I dislike box braces is because when you put a box brace on wrong, sometimes it puts pressure on the sector shaft, pushing it this way or this way, which affects your lash. The other thing it affects is it affects this right here, because it'll push and pull on this here. I'll loosen this. By the way, you can't adjust these on your own. So it'll push or pull this. So you can damage what's inside here by putting a box brace on if it's binding, which is why I say to all my customers to make sure it's not binding. Because if it's binding and it's pushing on it, it damages this face and it scars it up, and again makes your box hard to steer, which will create things like over-responsive steering, because you'll turn and it won't turn, and your hydraulics will open up and your truck will shoot because of the steering, which gives you or the hydraulic pressure, which gives you a weird squishy feeling. Sorry this is such a quick video, but it's just spur of the moment, and I thought it would help some people understand boxes. I believe the big issue is that nobody cares about their job or the quality of their work anymore. All they care about is going to work, bitching to their boss about how they have to work, and then going home to pay their whatever debt. Nobody cares about the job anymore. We here, we care. We set every single piece by hand, and we put our every ounce of pride and joy into setting our parts. But these things, I don't know. I guess it's just today's people. To close this video out, it was a really quick video, spur of the moment, just to broaden people's minds on this. You should have a professional that knows what they're doing adjust it. I was just trying to help you understand your box and why potentially there's issues with the box if you're having issues.